Hey everyone, this is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad. Panovich, the snow is beginning to slowly taper off in the mountains, but it's still falling up there. We start turning our attention to the next storm, which is coming in Saturday night into Sunday morning. Let me show you what's going on right now. Temperature's not warm out there. We've got a mix of mostly sunny skies and a few clouds across the Piedmont with temperatures in the 40s. But in the mountains, you can see there's still some good snow falling, especially across Avery County. We've got some good snow falling in Banner Elk, Beech Mountain, Sugar Mountain. Light snow flurries still falling in the Boone area as well as in Jefferson. You can see the plume of moisture and that northwest flow coming into the mountains. There is still a bit of moisture coming across the cold country of eastern Kentucky. A little bit of a connection to the Great Lakes. That's why we're still seeing some of that moisture falling in the form of snow. And it's also really cold air back here. I'm going to turn the temperatures back on. And you can see temperatures are in the teens and single digits back here. So we're maximizing the amount of snow with the moisture we have. We're essentially fluffing it up. So that's going to continue probably through the middle of the day before it slowly tapers off as this cold air filters in. Now everybody is going to see cold air today. That's the big story going into the weekend. So let's start looking ahead to the storm system that's going to be heading our way going into Super Bowl Sunday, because that's really kind of, whoops, sorry, I grabbed the wrong thing there. That's going to be the big story for Super Bowl weekend, is going to be the snow moving in. So let me show you the model output here. We'll turn on our short-range models because we're going to see a brief wintry mix on Sunday morning. We'll show you real quickly. Here's a look at the system slowly heading our way. We'll go through tonight. It's all dry, just really cold, dry and cold tomorrow. And then we're going to go into the weekend. We'll stop this tomorrow morning at about 7 a.m. And you can kind of see the two pieces of energy. There's some moisture down here over the Gulf Coast we're keeping an eye on, and a little piece of energy here. They're going to both kind of come together and move our direction. But the main storm track is going to be up in here, which means this system is going to be warmer than it is going to be colder. So that's why we're going to have a little bit of what we call an overrunning or a cold air damming effect. We'll go through tomorrow afternoon. We'll go through tomorrow night. I'm going to stop this at 7 p.m. Saturday night. You see the moisture building. Now what's going on at the same time, I'm going to show you this real quickly with the surface pressure, because there's high pressure parked right here, and that's supplying cold air which gets banked up against the mountains. Cold, dry air is heavy and dense, so it gets dammed or trapped against the Blue Ridge Mountains. So over time, what happens is that cold air settles into the lowest spot like water, trying to find its lowest spot possible. This warm, moist air to the west is buoyant. It rides up and over that cold surface air. So that's the typical setup for an icy mix, and you'll see this happen as we go into Saturday night. I'll start getting closer. You can actually see the snow and ice developing in eastern Tennessee, and as it approaches the Carolinas, we're getting closer to about 5 in the morning. I'm going to stop this at about 5 a.m. here. So here we are about 5 a.m. on Sunday morning, and you can see we're starting to get that icy mix around here. It's likely going to be freezing rain, sleet, and maybe some snow at the beginning. And as we go through the morning, we'll get closer to 6 a.m. It becomes more sleet and maybe freezing rain. We'll get closer to 7 a.m. A lot of ice showing up here. You see all this red. Anything in red is freezing rain. So that's a lot of ice showing up early in the morning. Now this is 7 a.m. We'll go to 8 a.m. We're starting to see rain mix in. And then we get to 9 a.m. and you see how things start to taper off. So that that window of about 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. looks to be the window where we're going to see the most ice. Now where it could linger longer is up here in these typical areas along Interstate 40 where the cold air gets trapped longer. So this might last till 10, 11, 12, maybe all the way to midday or 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. excuse me, before it all changes to rain. This is 1 p.m., this is noon, and this is 11 a.m. So up here across the Interstate 40 corridor, this ice might linger for a while before it changes all to rain. And ice really is our concern now. It's not so much snow. I don't want you to get it caught up in, hey, we're going to see a chance of snow. This is really about ice. When you see red like this and this type of setup, this isn't about a snow setup. This is either going to be ice or rain. Not a lot of snow. It doesn't mean there couldn't be snow at the beginning. And in the mountains, there probably is going to be some good snow. But this is really more about the ice threat. So let me show you the snowfall forecast. And you can see not a lot of snow across the Piedmont. Definitely the mountains will see the best chance. There could be sleet, snow mix here. Remember, sleet counts as snow accumulation. So oftentimes when you see that, it shows up as sleet accumulation. But check out the ice accumulation being depicted here. You can see areas, especially up towards Caldwell, Burke, Catawba County. Now, this isn't a devastating ice storm. This is only trace amounts, like less than 1/10 of an inch. So we're not talking power lines and trees. This is really about slick roads on Sunday morning. That's our main concern. Slick roadways would be our primary concern. You see the probabilities here of snow. I'll show you these real quickly. Not real high probabilities. You can see they're kind of confined to the mountains. So that's the snow threat isn't really overwhelming, but the ice threat, I'll show you the ice threat going into Sunday morning. You can see that's a much bigger threat. So this is the probability of seeing trace amounts of ice. Again, 1/100th of an inch. Biggest ice threat here, and even a small ice threat for the Charlotte area. If I put this to 1/10 of an inch, which is more significant icing, notice Charlotte doesn't see much, but it's this area to the north and west of Charlotte. So that's the area we're going to watch Sunday morning. So if you have travel plans early Sunday morning, that's our biggest concern right now, is that we're going to see slick roads between about 5 a.m. and about 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. I'll show you real quickly. We'll start this again about 5 in the morning, 6, 7, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., and by that time everything is gone by about 11 o'clock. So this is 11 o'clock, and then we get to noon right there. Everything tapers off. So that morning hour, that's going to be the main threat for some icy conditions. So we'll keep an eye on this. It's likely going to probably be issued a winter weather advisory at some point, probably tomorrow, maybe even late tonight, depending on the confidence in the forecast. And again, this isn't going to last long. Once the rain moves in, the roads will be fine. But if you're traveling between 5 a.m. and noon on Sunday, you're definitely going to want to be prepared for some slick roadways, especially the bridges and overpasses.